Hello, boys and girls. So today I would like to share more about the bird game. It's been an epic evening yesterday. So just a lot of bird game type interaction happened, and so when that happens, when you play the bird game, it really the healing for depression, boredom, apathy, anything, man. It's just especially if you're on the winning side. You know, if you're on the losing side, then the lessons tend to take longer to develop. So okay, here goes. I go outside to the park yesterday, and I'm just doing what I normally do. So in the bird game, like, you just move like the birds. You move around the yard, right? And you move and you give your sounds. I was just going with my bike and nicely whistling and just having a good time and see who answers, listening 360 all around me to the non-verbal sounds of everything, just practicing my skills and practicing awareness. And different characters show up. You know, I didn't know them by name, but I knew them by their behavior, like what state they were in and what's happening. And one group was quite, like, it sort of sparked my interest. Like, I had a feeling we might be having some sort of interaction, conversation or something. It was three dudes. Hello there. It was three dudes that, about the pleasures of duct tape. It was three dudes, and teenagers, like, I don't know, 18, 19, 17, somewhere in that range, somewhere early 20s, I don't know. And so it was dark outside, evening, and one of them dressed in like a red jacket. He just was always doing martial arts things, like he was showing the others what it's like to be a martial artist and just how you can twist and turn and kick like this and do like that. And I can totally relate to that, because when I was 15, I did some taekwondo, and it's really nice. I used to play Mortal Kombat. It's that whole thing of being fit, of being a fit, proper bird, being able to move and dance and flow the energy. It's awesome. He was showing off to his mates, right? Typical thing to do when you're young. And I'm just minding my own business. I didn't cross these guys. I just going around with my bike and whistling and ta-da. I'm actually looking for girls, obviously. And then nothing interesting happens, and I sit on a bench and meditate. And then I go, it was like a playground, and I meditate some more. And at some point I hear there's a group of like 5 or 7 girls to my left. And it tells me, right? Like the voice tells me, okay, dude, it is time. And I take out my juggling balls, and they light up, so LED juggling balls to just really stand out, like for 50 meters or more. And I start juggling, right? And people go, whoa, what's this? I just do my magic. I'm playing. I didn't feel like going to talk to anybody or anything. I figured, hey, I'll do my magic, and whoever wants to interact will show up and ask me about them and all that. So I'm bothering nobody. I'm just, there juggling. And within like 1 minute maybe, I hear behind me, is a typical interaction by now. I hear the flimsy, fucked up voice of a youngster coming to ask me about the juggling balls. So lower energy males, if they see any higher energy males around in the yard, in the playground, and dogs do this too, well, they can't match the high energy level. They're young, they're stupid, they don't know what the hell they're doing. But if they can sort of get you to spend energy on them so that you will lower your energy to their level, then it evens the playing field. So it's in their best interest, if there's any high energy males around, that they would come to interact, come to interrupt, and so on and so forth. At the very least, they'll keep you from being noticed and engaged by a ghost. Which, I've seen this stuff, and when I see that happening, if I don't like the guy coming, so if I'm high energy and he comes at my level or comparable, we'll hang out, we'll be awesome dudes together. But if he's coming in low, basically just to steal and to interrupt and disrupt, I'm like, fuck this. I'll do the avoidance game, just like females do the avoidance game. So guy comes to talk to me, and I'll be with my back to him, juggling, and as I hear him talk and approach, I won't give eye contact. I will not answer verbally, I'll just move away. I'll ignore him and move away. And he will feel that he's ignored. He'll feel that that he's talking and he's ignored. Like he doesn't matter. Like to me, you're nobody. You're inconsequential. You know, I felt this sometimes. I think most of us have. And it really stings and burns. Now, if the bird is smart, after one or two lines dumped like this, basically he's giving me energy, and now, like we start here, and he's giving me his energy by talking, you know, he's even lower, and I increase the contrast, and I move away, and if he's smart, he'll know to cut his losses and leave it. Just take the dive and leave. But this guy wasn't smart at all. And so I leave, you know, and every time he speaks to me, I just move away more, and I do my things, you know, like, woo! Like, oh, come on, man, speak to me, whatever. And he starts begging, you know, like, girls would know what I'm talking about. He starts begging for it, he starts whatever, and I'm just playfully going, da-da-da, I'm juggling, and I'm moving, and I'm running. The guy starts following, and he's, of course, in disbelief of this, because he's used to the polite thing. He's used to, if you talk to people, they talk back. No, if I don't like you and you throw energy my way, I will steal it and run and come on and play for another round, if you will. And the guy keeps coming. I go back to where my backpack is. I've ignored him. I've basically led him, and this is typical of what birds do. So I'm here. He's coming to play with me, and we go a whole round. You know, like this. Like, I'm running and he's chasing. I'm running, he's chasing. He's talking. It was typical what birds do, right? So approach, give sound, give sound, give sound. And basically he calls his mate. He can't catch me, he can't interact with me. I just outrun him and made a fool of him. He calls his mate, the guy with the red jacket. The guy sees me, and he's been just doing this whole thing all evening. Like, he's so awesome in his gang because he's the martial arts guy and he has two mates and they look up to him and whatever. But I've seen him. I mean, he's like, where were we? Here. Like, he's a little bit more high energy than his mates, but nowhere near the level, you know. And he doesn't know who he's fucking with. And so he approaches me, and they start to corner me. They start to come back from all sides, and I've seen his martial arts movement. I mean, it's crap. It's like, come on, man. Aztec warrior over here, you know. It's like many multiple lifetimes of playing the board game. It's like, you know, I've been there. And so he approaches, and he gets a bit aggressive. He talks shit, you know. He's like, oh, he's not coming. Let's take his backpack, you know. They start talking shit about messing with my clothes, you know. I'm playing the game, I'm avoiding, I'm playing it playful. And they're like, whoa, when I hear you're going to touch my back, I don't think so, you know. And I'm still not talking to them. It's still just eyeballing and movement. And I go in like this, like just aggressively on them, like just to scare them. And he backs off, he gets scared. And I knew he was like a pussy then, because, like, you know, if I can make you to back off and you can't make me, then yeah. And he comes in to make all kinds of weird stuff. I back off a little bit, he stops, and then I push him, you know. It just instinctively just happened. And then I push him, one shove basically. He goes back, steps all fucked up, messes up his ankle. And then he starts with the blabbering and bitching. Oh, hey, man, why'd you do that? Da, 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 da. Oh, my God, look what I did to my leg. He basically messed up his ankle. I don't know how bad. Probably pretty bad. But I just felt it like, finally, the shit has been balanced here. Like, all the yard has seen who's the real martial artist here in this context. And it's not you, because it's not you. It's like that scene with Bruce Lee when he does fighting without fighting. He puts the guy in a boat and then shoves the boat away. There's no punch thrown or no nothing. It's just mental game. And so after one evening of just showing off all his nice, awesome, twisting, spinning moves, he gets shoved once with the right proper timing, of course. And then poof, just falls down. And I'm left to basically pick up my things slowly, you know, really relaxed. Go back to my bike, put everything together, and all the time he's screaming, oh, come on, man, I'll mess you up, just be here tomorrow, da. Oh, how could you, da, 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 da. He was like, I'm laughing, and this is the bird game, you know. This is the bird game. Now, I've been in his place at least once, when I was the one looking for a fight, and I got it. Like, also it was with myself, I just fell in the mud, and I did, like him, I actually, we probably messed up the same foot, the right foot, anyway. And this is how the bird game works. So it's a timing thing. It's an experience thing. It's like just how much energy can you put into a guy, because that's what they were trying to do to me, to intimidate me, to break my game, to break my flow. Or, I mean, but if you move in to do that, you basically expose yourself. And these were two guys, maybe both of them doing martial arts, but not very smart in the head because of lack of experience. So this was my bird game stuff yesterday. And by the time I was leaving, he was talking blah, 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 and all the time, on top of his talking, I just went, woohoo! Yee-haw! Woo-hoo-hoo! Dude, the annoyance level in that guy, you know, I could feel it, man, right? Like, he's the martial artist with a fucked up ankle. I didn't do anything. I didn't hit him. I just pushed him. And now he's probably weeks. He won't be able to train right. He won't be able to do his kicks. Won't be able to do just because he fucked with the wrong Mexican, basically. That's how I call it. If he had looked a little bit more who he's fucking with, that I'm meditating, that I have a certain way of moving, that I have, you know, that I don't need to show off a million kicks and hits and things. Oh, and yesterday, before going to the park, I was actually watching videos of something on YouTube, which I recommend. It's called 10 fighters, like cocky fighters that get knocked out. You know, a guy does a million things, and oh, fuck yeah, and then poof, lights out. So in the same day that I was seeing that, I actually got to sort of do it, you know. And I wasn't looking for it. I was just looking to juggle and pick up chicks. Yeah. So what happened is that while I was in such an awesome state with the woohoo, like after I did the thing, my howls of joy were heard by a group of girls, one of them I knew, and they called me to their group, and then I spent the rest of the evening, for like 2 hours at least, interacting with these 3 young, nice, pretty girls, just because I played the bird game and won, you know. I just played it right. I just mind my distances, don't over-signal, don't be cocky, don't be like... This is what experienced roosters do in any art, if you look. Like, the youngsters are always trying to show off. The more experienced guys, they just, you know, they just stay there, and if you get close, then you get hit over the head, and you'll know who's the boss. Oh, this is what happened yesterday. I hope this makes sense. Comment, fucking... mention whatever. This is my experience of yesterday evening, and it keeps going through today. The bird game.